Be funny, Gavin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like I need the mic, I'll do. Now, I could stand here all day and speak about the man that is Charlie Cracknell. However, I'm not going to. Quote, Rachel said she'll cut it if I speak too long. Now, in the summer of 1986, when I was 11, a clumsy oaf packed me down on the football field. He was nowhere near the ball and he injured himself in the process. Now, who'd have thought I'd be here as his best man 22 years later? Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm obviously Gavin, and I've had the honour of being Charlie's best man today. Now, I'd like to echo what Charlie's already said in that how beautiful his wife looks today, and also, but I'd also like to say how beautiful also Juliet looks as well. And on behalf of myself and Juliet, I'd like to say thank you to Charlie for his kind words. Now, I hope that you're all having a good time. Yeah. And you got here okay. Now, Charlie and Rachel were going to join us on the bus, however they couldn't decide where they wanted to sit. Rachel wanted to be at the front, but Charlie wanted to be at the back. Now, Charlie, where do I start? Okay, born on October the 15th, Born on October the 15th, 1974, Charles Alexander James Griffin Cracknell was born. Now, you try saying that after a few glasses of champagne. However, it's interesting to note that after his birth, family planning became free on the NHS. Now, Charlie and I properly met at senior school where he absolutely knew everybody, and everybody knew him. Now, the reason for that was because Charlie used to speak to anyone, regardless of whether they wanted him to or not. Now, when you think of the name Charlie Cracknell, it kind of conjures up in your mind that of a cheeky chappie. And you wouldn't be far wrong from the way he was as an 11-year-old schoolboy. However, he was more like everyone's annoying little brother. And he would taunt people until he got a reaction. Generally, a good beating. Now, Charlie was often seen running through the corridors of school with about 10 lads in hot shoes, always running after him. Now, basically, he'd turn up beaten and blue about 10 minutes later, by either hanging from a peg, or he'd have his feet hanging out the back of a wheelie bin. What a loser! Along with Marlborough. Now, as he grew older, Charlie used to find himself in a lot of sticky situations. Now, for example, as a 12-year-old boy, he wandered into our chemistry teacher's tent to see us start he's never been the same since. This is Kane.
Yeah.
Tracy followed, then it was Scott, then me.
Always bringing up the rear.
But anyway, he was also unlucky enough one night to be separated from our group, thrown into the back of a pickup truck and kidnapped on Halloween night by a group of local sixth form nutters. He turned up an hour later, again beaten and blue, but he did survive to tell the tale. Poor Charlie. Now, during his GCSEs, Charlie thought he knew better than the teachers, and decided in his exams to answer questions that we hadn't even studied. So, consequently, his results weren't as good as he expected. But he did knuckle down. He worked his way through Langley College and then on to university at Cheltenham. Now, Langley College.
Where were you with them?
When they got to university, they'd obviously heard how clumsy he was and about his proneness to injury, because when he arrived, they allocated him a disabled flat, complete with wheelchair access. But things later on improved, and he moved into a rowdy house with 4 of the football boys. Okay, 5 of them became known as the Ridgely boys, who like to think of themselves as like big shots. However, Charlie was also known as Lego Head because of his bowl haircut. as well as Charlie Cracknell, the man from Bracknell. Geography never a strong point. Now Charlie's always fancied himself as a bit of a sports guru, a self-proclaimed footballing genius, tough tackling rugby player, pro golfer, and more recently a lot called Marchant, a professional surfer. Although the only one thing consistent about all of these sports is that he's managed to maim and injure himself in all of them. Now these days he's more like the $6 million man with golden balls, although not as quick, not as strong, and a bit more chunky. No, it's true, I know, I can't talk. But let's be honest, in all walks of life, Charlie thinks he knows absolutely everything. Yep. And he's also an expert in every field. It's literally known as the name Swiss Army Charlie. But being a know-it-all and sporting genius, he naturally turned his hand to a bit of coaching. Where I didn't get off to the best of starts. When he was 13, even though he couldn't play golf himself, he decided he'd teach his brother Tim how to swing the club like Nick Fowler. Subsequently, Charlie lost his tooth-front teeth. Tim, you still can't play, can you? Now, after doing a bit of coaching at university, he tried to improve his skills and came to work with me in New Jersey as a soccer coach. We had a great time out there, learned lots, met a lot of friends who we still see today, but I didn't get off to the best of starts when, being a new boy, I had to introduce him to a load of kids at a Saturday soccer camp. Sorry.
That was an American accent.
Yeah, I know, we're very back there. But anyway, hearing 150 kids say, "Hi, Coach Chuck," still makes me laugh to this day. And Charlie was all best pleased. Although he was also the first coach in UK League history to be sacked from one of his teams for calling the the chairman's son, 9-year-old son, a dickhead. When he went to law school. But anyway, Chuck also became known by the other coaches as Bishop because he looked like the android from the film Alien. And apart from looking like an android, he did get on well with all his peers at UK League Soccer, and he also got on well with the management team despite constantly telling them how they should run his company and what a shambles it was. Now this leads me to another nickname that Charlie's also become known as over the years, Norris, as in Norris McWhirter in the Guinness Book of Records. Now, as I said earlier, he thinks he knows absolutely everything about everything. And what you might not know though...
He does know everything.
He does know everything.
Thank you.
But Norris also holds a few records of himself. Now, like Santa Claus on Christmas Day, Charlie makes a number of house visits. And generally ends up having Christmas dinner at every one of them. His record's currently 5 in one day, and to this day, Claire's mum still lays an extra space just in case. We're hoping, Rachel, that you'll take that away from him. Keep him in one place at once. Now, when it comes to women, Charlie's taken a more subtle approach than most men. And rather than being blatant and in your face, like some men in this room, Hawkins, Charlie likes to take his time. A very long time. Now, over the years, some people have been worried about him. No girlfriend, lots of female friends. But to be honest, it's all been part of a bigger plan. Now, after speaking to various people at work and in his uni days, actually Charlie was a bit of a womaniser. But we just never knew it.
Exactly.
Now, as an